Yo, 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 this is Sol, also known as Spielgum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, Yardis Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX. And guys, I know, I do this video normally in the last part of my Datamine, series of videos. I normally do my Datamine in a nutshell, then I do my gem count video and then stuff, but for some reason, there's not a lot of discussion right now of these coming sync pairs. Particularly Pose is missing for some reason. So I figured that you guys might want to know more about these sync pairs as quickly as possible. So that's the reason why I'm bringing this video as soon as possible to you guys. And also, because I'm doing this first, I have not been able to make my own screenshot / infographics of these sync pairs yet, as it takes forever to do them. I am going to use Absol-utely's and Lost Mode's infographics for this one. So thank you to Absol-utely and Lost Mode for your hard work and data mining and stuff. Just take note of that. But without further ado, guys, these are the sync pairs coming for the January 2023 update, and we are going to discuss if getting one copy, just one copy of them will be good or not. I will not be discussing their grids for this video, so no 1 out of 5 grids, but 1 out of 5 grids, let's be honest, they're not really that great anyway, except for very, 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 very little exceptions. But 1 out of 5 grids are never great anyway, so I'm gonna disregard the kit right now. But with that, is it good to scout for these sync pairs? Or are you better off saving your gems for February or for the 4.5 year anniversary coming on March? Or maybe scout for the rerun units instead. There are a couple of select scouts, there are a couple of Pokefair reruns. There are 3 Master Fair reruns rather. Thunderbolt Red, Aura Cynthia as well as Leon is coming, and they will be coming back with EX rolls. So are you better off summoning for them instead? So with that, let's begin. With that, we start off with our schedule of sync pair scouts, with Claire and Wallace coming on the same date. By the way, they're called New Year's 2024 Claire and New Year's 2024 Wallace, but for the sake of shortening, we'll just call them New Year Claire or New Year Wallace, or I'm just gonna refer to them as Claire and Wallace in this video. So they're coming on January 1 and they're ending on January 19. So the last day you can scout for them is on January 18. And take note that these times are Asian, or rather Eastern times. If you're in the West, that might be December 31 near midnight for you guys, so just take note of that. But these are Eastern times. January 1 to January 18, you can scout for them. And Claire, as you can see over here, is a support with an EX roll of Tech. And Wallace is a field sync pair with an EX roll of Strike. And this is interesting because this is actually the second field seasonal sync pairs that we have right now. The first one is Viola, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Viola is a field Tech, if I'm not mistaken. She's a field Tech sync pair. This one is a field Strike, special Strike sync pair. After that, January 12, so that's 11 days after, we will have a Pokefair, which is Aono from Paldea. You got January 12 to January 31. That means February 1, she will be gone. And on January 22, let me just hide myself. That's 10 days after Aono, January 22 to February 10, we have the running or the Pokefair Scout of Grusa and Cetitan over here. So again, these two for the first ones are seasonal scouts. If you're deciding to scout on them, they have a normal banner which requires 30,000 or 36,600 non-paid gems to be able to go to scout points if you got unlucky or if you just want to max it out. 36,600 gems to go for scout points, or you can go cheaper if you use paid gems / paid money and go for 20,200 paid gems to guarantee you 1 copy and 7,700 paid gems to have a little 25% of being able to scout for, either of the two in their respective tiered scouts. Meanwhile, for Aono and Grusa, they're Pokefair scouts. That means you have a 10% chance, slightly increased chance of getting a random 5-star. And in the process, if you're able to scout for either Grusa or Aono, you get 4 EX roll cake coins of whatever EX rolls they have. So for Aono, every single time you scout for her, you're able to get 4 strike roll cake coins. And for Grusa, you will be able to get 4 tech roll cake coins for every copy of Grusa / Aono that you're able to scout. And if you got 5 copies, well, you have enough because you need 20 of those coins to exchange for 1 strike roll cake or a tech roll cake, which you can give to either them, guys, or similarly, Claire and Wallace has the exact same EX rolls as these two. So Claire, EX roll tech, Grusa EX roll tech, meanwhile, Aono EX roll strike, Wallace EX roll strike. And for those who are curious, physical strike, special strike, you can use the exact same EX roll cake or strike roll cake for those things. But those are the schedules, and now let's look at their respective kits, starting off with Claire. So thank you again, Absol-utely, for your work here, and Lost Mode, thank you so much. This is a support sync pair with an EX roll of Tech, with a Drampa as her sync pair. And if we see the stats over here, stats-wise, defenses are not too bad. 302 as well as 316 attack or defense and special defense stats. And if you decide to go for her Tech EX roll, you'll be able to raise her HP stat a lot higher. That's 760 HP at level 150, as well as attack and special attack will go up to 184 as well as 230. And defenses will go up a little bit higher, making her a little bit tankier. And if you decide to 6-star EX her, well, those stats will go even up higher. And what this does is that, well, let's look at her. Before we look at their passive skills, let's look at their kit first. Twister. Twister, 20% chance of making every single opponent flinch. Okay. AoE, Dragon type attack with a 20% chance of making opponents flinch. X defense all to raise the defense stats of all allied sync pairs. Remember, this is a support sync pair. So, okay, we can raise defenses. We can make the opponent flinch, which is a nice thing because it's more of a tech sync pair this way. Dragon Breath, 30% chance of leaving the opponent paralyzed, which is similar to Drake and Salamence. Okay, You're Good raises the attack and special attack of all allied sync pairs by 2. Which you can use once and once only. Okay. But you can raise the critical hit rate of all allied sync pairs by 3. So by using her trainer moves, you can raise everyone's defenses +4, raise everyone's attack and special attack +2, and max out everyone's critical hit rate, as well as able to make the opponents flinch and paralyzed. As far as what I can see right now, guys, she's trying to be an all-rounder because normally supports can either raise defenses or attack or special attack stats. This sync pair tries to do everything, compressing her into one role combined for everything, which is not too bad because she can max out everyone's critical hit rate. But can she recover herself? Well, now it's time to look at her her passive skills, but no additional effect for her sync move, so that doesn't do much. But with her EX roll of Tech, her sync move will be 1.5 times stronger. And by 6-star EXing her, you will be getting a double sync buff, which is very typical. Now, let's look at the passive skills. Trainer move, team, free move, next 9. Whenever you use a trainer move, you get a free move next effect, which is good. You have 3 trainer moves. You can use this, and every single time you use a trainer move, you have a free move next. Okay. Tries to be a sprint. Initial synchro healing 2. Restores the HP of all allied sync pairs by 40% the first time you use your sync move in battle. I guess this is good because as a support sync pair, you want to use her sync move first for that double sync buff. But take note that you can only trigger this once, 40% chance or 40% recovery of everyone at the start or for your first sync move. And then the last passive skill is a little bit interesting. Team takes hit from Pokemon, Sync, Max Move, Ignore Weather Terrain Zone Power Up. Whenever you have a Weather Terrain Zone, which is weather effects, you know, hail, sunny day, rain, whatsoever, terrains, electric terrain, grassy terrain, psychic terrain, zones, you know, dragon zone, whatever zone, all the zones, you will ignore the effects of those things when you are hit by an opponent. So this is specific. I don't know if the opponents will be using a lot of terrain zones or something. This is probably one interesting place that you can, if she actually survives against, you know, the ultimate battle, Annabelle. Annabelle brings in Sunny Day. And if you bring this, and for some reason, she survives, she's good against Annabelle, which I don't think she's gonna be great against Annabelle, but just in case she's equal and she can survive Annabelle's stuff, you will be ignoring Sunny Day. As you might know, Sunny Day, if you do not change the weather condition in Annabelle's Flickering Flames battle, your team is as good as dead. By just the first or second attack, your team is as good as dead. And by bringing in Claire, the idea is that you ignore the sun, which means Annabelle just, you know, attacks normally without the sun, the sun's power-ups and stuff like that. This is gonna be interesting, you know, if the opponent is weak to dragon type attack, this is a dragon type sync pair, which is weak to ice. So, just in case, you know, you bring in Dragon Zone, a lot of dragon type opponents, or I don't know, maybe some opponents, just think of ice type, you know, you use her against an ice type weak opponent, and you bring in Dragon Zone to power her up, to power any one of your sync pairs up for stronger moves, or probably any other type of attack. Probably you'd bring in Dark Zone and the opponent decides to use probably Dark Pulse against you. This will ignore the opponent's powered up attacks, but it will still power up your own attacks. And that's basically the gist of Claire's kit. It's very, very niche, very, very specific. And it is, well, this sync pair tries to do everything. It has the capabilities of a support sync pair, offensive and defensive, with X defense all and you're good, offensive and defensive. It has the capabilities of a tech sync pair, which can make the opponents flinch as well as make the opponents paralyzed. It has the benefits of a healer, at least for the start of the bat or for the first sync move, restores the HP. It has the benefits of a sprint sync pair, which can give you a free move up next or free move next effect. And it has the, you know, niche ability of ignoring weather conditions, terrain conditions, zone conditions. And yeah, that's the gist of the sync pair. This is very specific. And what can I say about this sync pair? Well, I'm gonna hold her aside first This is very specific to the point that she is good at a lot of things, but not great at anything. The only thing that's amazing about her is that one trainer move, maximum critical hit rate for everyone. That's all I can say is great with her. But at one copy right now, I cannot say that she is amazing as heck. You know, there are a lot of better supports. Champion Rosa is an amazing, amazing, amazing support which can do a lot tech stuff wise. Make all the opponents fall asleep. Offensive wise, defensive wise, sprint wise, not too much, but Champion Rosa is way more amazing in terms of support capabilities rather than New Year Claire, as I can see over here. So, unfortunately, right now, at one copy, I cannot exactly recommend New Year Claire to a lot of people. But, you know, if you have Claire as a favorite, why not let me stop you? Just continue scouting, and good luck if you're scouting for Claire. But with that said, let's move on to the next one, which is Wallace and Blacephalon. This is a field sync pair. And as a field sync pair, your first sync move, if you have him 6-star EX, you'll be bringing in, I believe it's Sunny Day because he's fire type and there's no fire zone. So you will bring in Sunny Day and the sun will activate before your sync move. That means your sync move will be powered up by Sunny Day already and it will be extended. And speaking of roles, speaking of field sync roles, one thing I would want to tell you is that Claire, even though she has this weird passive skill, she cannot bring in any zone. She cannot bring in terrains. She cannot bring in, you know, weather, terrains, or zones. So just take note of that. Meanwhile, Wallace is the sync pair you want to look at if you want zones. Because aside from being a field sync pair, which can bring in you know, Sunny Day. He also has another way of bringing in Sunny Day, which I will go down over here. He has Max Flare. This is a sync pair with a lot of gimmicks combined. So he has a Dynamax. He has Dynamax rather. He has a whatchamacallit. He has a buddy move. And he has, well, where is the other thing? So he has, oh, there it is. Hoenn Analysis. So Hoenn Analysis is very kind of similar to, you know, Champion Nate's Hoenn, or rather, Unova Circle. So this brings in Hoenn Circle. And this basically powers up the special moves up, or rather, aside from applying Hoenn Circle to the allied field of play, Hoenn Circle special, it also gives everyone special moves up next effect, which gives allies a 40% increase in their next special attack. So, a lot of gimmicks. Hoenn Circle, Dynamax, buddy move, 3 in 1. And also more gimmicks over here, but let's look at Shadow Ball first. Shadow Ball has a 20% chance of leaving or lowering the opponent's special defense, but you can use Max Phantasm instead and lower the defense. So, Shadow Ball can lower the opponent's special defense. Max Phantasm lowers defense. Max Flare to bring in the sun instead. Hoenn Analysis, which brings in that special moves up next effect and gives Hoenn Circle, which powers up your Hoenn sync pair. Actually, all your allied sync pairs will be powered up, but the more Hoenn sync pairs you have, you'll be more powerful. And then Strange Flames Mind Blown. So, Absol-utely made a little correction on this. Let's look at this slide instead. So, this one, activation condition, when the user uses any move once. And this cannot be deactivated. So you use a trainer move once. I'm not sure if the user, because sometimes Pokemon Masters is vague, the user meaning trainer move or meaning Pokemon moves and trainer moves together. But aside from that, it increases the special moves up next effect of by 0 to 10 stat ranks at random after you use this. So you will get a special moves up next effect. You have a 30% chance of not giving yourself a special moves up next effect. 20% chance to give you one special moves up next effect. 20% chance, 2%. And you can just look at that. I think it's not too small and you guys can see it pretty clearly. But let me just zoom in for you guys. There's a chance of activating 10 stat ranks of special moves up next effect, but it's at 0.1% chance. So 10 stat ranks is equivalent to 400% increase in damage, which is crazy. But maybe you will be not increasing your special moves up next effect, or probably raising your special moves up next effect to a maximum of 4 stat ranks instead. Every single time you use Strange Flames Mind Blown. And this is the move that you probably want to use all the time because it hits every single opponent with a 4-move gauge attack, which is not bad. The extra special moves up next effect is just a bonus. So it's a very, very powerful fire type attack. And yeah, that's basically him. But the problem is it's a 4-move gauge attack and it's pretty expensive. He has another trainer move called It's Showtime, raises an ally's special attack by 4 stat ranks. You can use this on any sync pair, including yourself, as well as maxes out an ally's critical hit rate. So take that as you will. And now let's look at his passive skill. You have Mind-Blowing Illusion. And this one is, well, let's look at this corrected image instead. Activates one of several additional effects at random after using the user's max move. So this can only activate once per battle by using your max move. So 16% chance of enduring effect, 16% chance of free move next, 16% chance of damage guard next. 50% chance of a 33% chance under that 50% chance of giving you a super effective up next effect, gradual healing, or critical hit next. I'm not sure how many effects. It says activates one of several additional effects. So probably just one of these effects will be activated after using your max move, which is okay. Nice bonus. You have KO opponent, special boost up to 9. Increases the special moves up next effect by 2 stat ranks when you knock out an opponent with a move. So either Shadow Ball or Strange Flames Mind Blown will, once you knock out an opponent, you will get a special moves up next effect plus 2. So remember, every single time you use Strange Flames Mind Blown, you have a chance of raising your special moves up next effect. If you're able to KO an opponent, that will add up to the bonus that you get here. It will add up to that and make your next attack more powerful. And then you have Max Countdown 2, which lowers your sync move countdown -2 after using your max move, in addition to the Mind-Blowing Illusion thing. So by using your max move, I'm assuming you're going to use Max Flare to bring in the sun. And by bringing in the sun, you get more powered up Strange Flames Mind Blown. I'm not sure if by using your max move, you get to unlock your buddy move, because that's technically a move, but it might unlock, it might not unlock. But once you unlock it, you're basically just dealing damage to the opponent. Strong damage. And every single time you KO an opponent, you'll be raising your special moves up next effect by 2. In terms of stats, his stats, 374 special attack stat, which is not bad. And if you give him the special strike EX roll, his attack stat will go up plus 40. That's 400 something special attack stat. And if you decide to 6-star EX him, makes your attack stat even stronger. The good thing about him is that if you decide to EX roll him and give him, once you use his sync move, you do not even have to bring in Sun by using Sunny Day or rather by using in Max Flare. Because the benefits of a 6-star EX field sync pair is that once you use your sync move for the very first time, before the sync move activates, you bring in the sun. So your sun will be powered, your sync move will be powered up by the field effect, and that sun will be extended. So your first sync move using him will automatically be powered up by Sunny Day. And that will make your sync move also hit every single opponent, because as a 6-star EX strike, you get to hit all opponents. But, you know, the problem with this sync pair is that we have a lot of fire type sync pairs in the game already. And do we need another fire type? Yes, we do not have a lot of AoE fire type attackers. We have whatchamacallit, we have Anniversary N, which is an AoE fire type attacker. We have Signasuit, was it Signasuit May? With Victini, I think it's Signasuit May, right? Or was it Hilda? I think it's May. May with Victini. With I forgot the name of the attack, but it's an AoE fire type attack. We have Heatwave of Signasuit Red. We have other Heatwave users out there. Do we need another fire type attacker? The advantage of this one is that you bring in, you extend Sunny Day, but we have a Sunny Day user that's really good in the form of Signasuit Morty. And for that reason, although he has a lot of good things in his grid, he has Hoenn Analysis again. This one powers up all your Unova, or rather Hoenn sync pairs. There are reasons why you should probably not scout for this sync pair, but there are also reasons that you want to scout. So, in my opinion, he is at least better than Claire. And so for this reason, I'm ranking him a little bit higher than Claire, but I cannot rank him way, way high up, especially that Leon is rerunning on January 25. And with that, let's move on to the next one, second to the last one, which is Aono and Belly Bolt. This is a support sync pair with an EX role of Special Strike. Now, I normally do not like to give EX roles of Striker at least to my supports, because supports are not known to dish out strong damage, you know. Supports are meant to support and protect your team and not to dish out damage to the opponent. So unless this sync pair has some sort of synchro healing or stuff like that, I'll probably not be using her sync move often, just for the first one for that double sync buff, and that's it. And if we look at her stats right now, as a support sync pair, her special attack is crazy. What the heck? Am I reading this correctly? Does she actually have 354 special attack stat? Because if it is 354, then by all means, probably she deserves that Striker EX role. And if you make her 6-star EX and give her that EX role, her special attack stat will go up to 400 something. Which I think that makes her one of the most powerful Striker supports out there, which is amazing, or rather support strikers rather than striker supports, making her really, really powerful. But the problem with support sync pairs that have the strike EX role is that you don't exactly get a lot of multipliers. The grid does not exactly have multipliers. Probably one, you know, like Champion Blue has brain power, if I'm not mistaken. I think Penny also has brain power in her grid, which is the higher the special attack stat, the stronger the sync move damage. But normally supports do not have a lot of sync move multipliers, and that's one reason why you want to use other sync pairs as your strikers or as your AoE sync nukers instead. But the ideal, you know, combination is support sprint. In my opinion, support sprint is amazing. Support strike is okay. Support tech is the worst one in my opinion. Support field is okay, I guess. Have we gotten a support field? I don't know. But let me look at her kit right now. Eerie Impulse. Lowers the opponent's special attack by 2 stat ranks. Potion, healing. Ultra Bright Zap Cannon. This is one thing that we have to talk about. This activates only when your special move's up next effect is rank 3 or higher. And if your special move's up next effect is below rank 3, which is rank 2, rank 1, or 0, it will deactivate. Lowers the opponent's special defense by 2, 50% chance of making the opponent flinch, leaves the target paralyzed. You can use this and hit one opponent each time you use Ultra Bright Zap Cannon. But remember, every single time you use this, you deactivate this. Because you will be using up your special moves up next effect immediately by using Ultra Bright Zap Cannon. So on the rise, her trainer move is raises the critical hit rate of all allied sync pairs by 3 stat ranks, maxes out everyone, which is, it's typical now for supports. One trainer move max out everyone's critical hit rate, increases the special moves up next effect of all allied sync pairs by 2, which is still not enough because you need 3, and applies enduring effect to all allied sync pairs. You can only use this once, and just once unless you get an MP refresh, which probably you will not get at 1 out of 5, but we're not looking at her kit right now, and I have no idea. For her sync move, you do not have any multipliers, as I said earlier. No built-in multipliers. Very, very small, little chances, little cases of multipliers on her built-in sync move. So if you make him, or you make her, give her the EX roll of Special Strike, again, you get to hit every single opponent. Now, passive skills, she got a built-in Vigilance. So you can give her any other passive skill because Vigilance is already given to her. Probably you can give, I don't know, probably Healthy Healing, or probably you can give Mind Games 2, was it? So that you can lower the opponent's special defense as well as special attack for Eerie Impulse. But I don't think Mind Games 2 will trigger if you use Eerie Impulse because that does not damage the opponent. Or some other, you know, lucky skill instead. Second passive skill, first trainer move, team special attack up 4. Raises the special attack of pairs by 4 the first time you use your trainer move each battle. Any trainer move, it will raise your special attack plus 4. Okay, so at least you get to raise everyone's special attack, not just their critical hit rate, not just their special moves up next effect, and not just an endure effect. You get to power up your allied sync pairs by 4. My issue, this is an offensive support, not a defensive support, because she cannot raise defenses, which is kind of important. We have a lot of sync pairs that can instantly max out their attack stat, offensive stats, especially strikers, especially tech sync pairs, and some other sync pairs have a trainer move that can max out or can raise their offensive stats immediately, but very little attackers that can raise defenses. So in my opinion, defensive supports are more important than offensive supports. And this sync pair is an offensive support, which is not so valuable versus defensive supports. Again, in my opinion, but don't let me stop you. But here's the interesting thing about her. Gimme All You Got is a very interesting passive skills. Every single time you get to be hit by the opponent, you will get a free move next effect for all your allies. Every single time you get hit, you get a free move next effect for all your allies. That is a very OP passive skill. Every single time you get hit, you get a free move next effect for all your allies. What does this mean? If you have 2 allies that use 4 move gauge attacks, You instantly get free move next for both of them. Not just both of them, but also for Aono. Every single time she gets hit. And then, when you get hit by the opponent, you will also get a special moves up next effect for all your allies. So, what does this mean? 40% chance of raising everyone's, or 40% increase of everyone's special attack every single time she gets hit. But this also means that you have to be hit 3 times first before you are able to use Ultra Bright Zap Cannon, because that is how you activate it. You have to have your special moves up next effect at rank 3 or higher. Every single time you get hit, you raise your special moves up next effect by 1 rank, and second hit, 2 ranks, third hit, 3 ranks. Ultra Bright Zap Cannon unlocks. You can use Ultra Bright Zap Cannon after getting hit 3 times. You have potion, yes, but at 1 copy, you do not have potion MP refreshes, you do not have potion master healers, and you only have a little, not too, your defenses are not too bad. 318, 318, and if you decide to 6-star EX her, that's 358, 358, which is not bad at all. But how long will you survive? How long will you survive? She's just a punching bag. Punching bag, but that free move next effect is very valuable for teams that are very, very heavily reliant on your move gauge. But that aside, once you're able to use your Ultra Bright Zap Cannon again, nice, you can have a 50% chance of making the opponent flinch. Instant paralysis lowers the opponent's special defense. You can lower your opponent's special attack. You can use Eerie Impulse at any time. You have potion. You have a way of giving everyone an endure effect, and probably at higher move levels on the rise MP refresh and get more endure effects, which is pretty valuable and significant. But 1 out of 5, she is a punching bag. Punching bag. Punching bag. But if we were to compare her with Wallace, again, let's look at Wallace's kit right now. Was it Wallace or was it... No, this one. Claire. Claire, once you use a trainer move, you will have free move next effect. Aono, once you get hit, you have a free move next effect. Let me know in the comments section which one of these two. Is it Claire? You have 3 chances or 3 times free move next effect for all your allied sync pairs. Do you prefer that? Or do you prefer, which you will probably be hit a lot more times than you use your trainer move, you prefer getting hit and get that free move next effect? Or do you prefer limited times but you have control of when you have the free move next effect? The advantage of Claire is that she's defensive as well as offensive. The advantage of Aono, she is more of an offensive support. And every single time you get hit, you have, you give everyone special moves up next effect. But in comparison, Champion Rosa, every single time you attack an opponent using, Relic Song of Wonder, you get both special moves up next effect and physical moves up next effect every single time you attack an opponent. That's better than getting hit. So take that as you will, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section right now. But let's move on to the last one, which is Grusa and Cetitan. This is also a support sync pair with an EX role of tech. Now, I am not a fan of this combination, as I said earlier, because just look at his offensive stats. 256. I mean, if Aono is a tech sync pair, I would probably be better with those 354 offensive stats than 118/256. Defensive stats, not too bad. 313. Speed stat, not too bad. And as a tech EX role, you get to raise all stats except speed stat, which is fine. So, you have Ice Fang. 10% chance of freezing the opponent and making the opponent flinch. Dire Hit All Plus raises everyone's critical hit rate +2. Absolute Zero Ice Avalanche is, well, a counter move. You use this when your defense is raised. How do you raise your defense? You use Let's Cool Down. It turns the allied field of play, or it turns the field of play into Ice Zone. Now, Ice Zone. There are not a lot of sync pairs with Ice Zone. There is, what's her name? There is Adam and Irida with Ice Zone. There's another sync pair with Ice Zone. And surprisingly, it's one of your Egmonts. It's your Glaceon. Player and Glaceon with Ice Zone. I do not remember any other sync pair with Ice Zone right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if I'm not mistaken, those are the only 2 sync pairs with Ice Zone as of the moment. Unless I'm forgetting anything. This is the 3rd sync pair with Ice Zone. But take note that this is not Irida. This is not Ice Zone plus Hail. This is only Ice Zone. But once you use Ice Zone, you'll raise everyone's defense and special defense +2. Apparently, the game wants you to scout for Aono and Grusa because Aono cannot raise defenses. Grusa cannot raise, well, can he raise offenses? But as of the moment, right now, what we're seeing, Grusa is the defensive support out of the duo over here. So what Absolute Zero Ice Avalanche does is that basically you use this when your defense is raised, and it will not deactivate as long as your defense is raised. And when the opponent attacks you, either a physical attack or a special attack, either of the 2, or it attacks every single one of your allies. I don't think this protects your other allies, though. I think it only protects Grusa. So this says that nullifies an attack move that targets the user, all allies. Well, never mind. I think it nullifies AoE attacks as well. So it makes the opponent's attack 0 damage. And then you will leave that defensive position. You will hit the opponent back at double the attack damage. And then you will lower the opponent's special attack and attack stat -3 stat ranks. So counter moves are a little bit, well, not too challenging to use, I guess. You have ways of doing this. So just raise your defenses, probably use Let's Cool Down once or twice, then use Absolute Zero Ice Avalanche. And whatever opponent hits you will have their attacks nullified and will have their attack and special attack -3. And will receive double the damage of whatever attack that it deals you with. So that is his base kit. And with the sync move, no multipliers as typical for supports. If you have his EX roll, which is Tech, your sync move will be powered up 1.5 times damage. And now, passive skills. Let's look at Fear the Snowy Mountain. Reduces physical move or physical attack damage taken by allies when the zone is Ice Zone. And it charges the move gauge quickly when the field is Ice Zone. So this only lowers the physical attack damage of the opponents. If the opponents use special attacks, that means Ember, Heat Wave, Shadow Ball, whatsoever special moves, it will not lower the damage. It will only lower physical attack damage like Tackle, Flare Blitz, Gyro Ball. Is it a physical attack or a special? Zen Headbutt, those are the favorite attacks of the opponent. Probably Giga Impact. Yes, that will lower the attack damage of the opponent. Physical attacks get lowered. Super Interference 2 raises the chances of inflicting status conditions as well as flinching, confuse, or trap conditions. So, Ice Fang has a 10% chance of leaving the opponent frozen and flinching. This will increase the percentage to 30% instead of 10%. It's nice, but 30% chance is not that high. But I saw in his kit that he has another Super Interference 2. I think it's Super Interference 2 as well. Or was it some other passive skill with a similar effect that raises the chance to 50% instead of 30%. So if you have that, then amazing, very nice, and good. But I think it's 5 out of 5. But I might be wrong. It's higher move level. It's kind of expensive to get that one. Impervious, your stats cannot be lowered. What does this mean? Your defense cannot be lowered once you use Let's Cool Down, which means your absolute zero ice avalanche. Once you unlock this, you will not deactivate this anytime because your defense cannot be lowered at any time because of impervious. And this sync pair is valuable for ice zone again. Chances of making the opponent flinch, freezing the opponent, I guess, is good. But mostly this sync pair is good for ice zone. For the lowered offensive stats, a lot of other tech sync pairs can do this. For the critical hit rate, direct hit all plus, well, a lot of others, you know, this is a 2-turn critical hit rate buffer as compared to what we saw with Aono, 1 trainer move, critical hit rate increase with its showtime, which maxes out your critical hit rate immediately with your good, which maxes out everyone's critical hit rate. This support sync pair requires 2 turns to raise allies critical hit rate. And that's 1 turn wasted, but that's that, guys. That is Grusa and Cetitan. And those are all the sync pairs we have of this update. If I were to rank everyone, I think, depending if you have Ice Zone or not, Grusa will be either my number 1 or number 2, specifically because of the significance. If you have Champion Red, I think a lot of you guys have Champion Red. And if you want to make Champion Red even crazier, benefit from that Ice Zone and probably get Grusa. But if you already have Ice Zone, I think Aono would be a much better pick because of free move next at all times. All times, free move next, free move next, free move next, free move next. My third out of the list is Wallace for his Hoenn analysis, for his max move, as for his body move. And this is the only field sync pair we have of this update. All the other sync pairs we have are support sync pairs. Now, this might rank higher, I guess, in my opinion. But the problem with Wallace is that we have so many fire types right now. And that is hurting his chances of ranking higher because of all the other fire types that we have. So I cannot rank him that much. And the last in my list is Claire. Just because she is good at a lot of things, but not great at everything. But maybe you can invert Wallace and Claire in terms of, depending if you probably prefer an all jack of all trades, probably Claire would be better for you guys. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But right now, I think I can say one important thing as we end this video, is that, in my opinion, none of these sync pairs, none of these sync pairs are better than the current roster we have right now. And that is Champion Nate, Champion Rosa. I think those two are the ones that you want to get, especially Champion Rosa. Champion Rosa is amazing in terms of support. She's one of the best. I would not... People say she's the best. I think Thunderbolt, or rather Champion Blue, is still a little bit better than Rosa, but they're very close. Very close. I like Champion Blue because recovery is very efficient, has synchro healing, can debuff all opponents, can flinch all opponents. Champion Rosa keeps switching types, and I'm not exactly a fan of her switching types. But then she can give everyone both rebuffs, which is also nice. But she can do a lot of stuff. And if those two you don't care about those two, well, let's not talk about Viola and Sycamore. They do not compare at all with the champions. But Thunderbolt Red is coming and Aura Cynthia is coming. And I think those two are worth your gems as well. In terms of the other reruns, I think still nothing beats Champion Rosa / Aura Cynthia / Thunderbolt Red. Nothing beats them. Leon is a fire type, which is okay, but if you want to argue, yes, let's say Wallace kind of has a master passive skill, kind of has Dynamax, and he has something that Leon does not have, which is a buddy move. So you can probably argue that Wallace is a little bit better than, probably in some ways, he might be better than Leon, but Leon has 3 different types of attacks. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, but as of the moment, I can tell you that probably it will be better to scout for Champion Rosa instead. Unless you love any of these sync pairs. I do not have my faves over the meta slide right now, but you know, just scout for your faves instead of the meta because, you know, at least more Paldean sync pairs are out. And, you know, Claire, first alt. Wallace, first alt. Champion Wallace, I'm not sure if he's even coming out anytime soon, but at least we have these sync pairs right now. And nice to see more sync pairs. And very nice to see only 4 sync pairs in this update. I support this decision. 4 new sync pairs only. I support it. And if DNA continues this route, then I will support this game until the very end. But if there are more than 6, I will have to rethink. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you appreciate it, make sure you hit the thumbs up button right now. And let me know once again your thoughts in the comment section. If you want to help me out monetarily, I kind of need to recover my funds because I did say that I'm going to upgrade my computer and I just got it. And, well, a lot of problems when I got it. I'm still recording using my old computer because, number 1, I was shocked that my game capture card is not compatible with my new computer. My hard disk drives cannot be inserted to the computer because it's way smaller than my desktop right now. And so I needed to get every single new part. And they're really expensive, and I got them together. So, if you want to help me out, recover my funds, guys, coffee.com/SPLgum. My birthday is also coming up on January 16. If you are generous and want to give me a birthday present, I would highly appreciate that. And I would love you forever. So thank you in advance. And if you want to join the members, you can click on the join button down below and become a member of my channel just like these awesome people. Thank you to Shadowphil and Alcin for 3 years of support. To Roy, Luca, and Jeremy for 2 years of support. Iwiz, Kosei, Tatsuya, Golden Apsaras for 1 year of support. And Great Bolt tier members Yuki and Sophia. Thank you, Pokeball here and Pokefriendo. Thank you guys so much. Again, join button down below. Become a member of my channel for as low as $1 a month. Or, starting January, YouTube told me that I will be able to give 5 gift memberships per month. So, I think there are more of you, but I'm not able to update it because I'm really busy today. As you might see, I've uploaded this video without even uploading my gem count. So sorry, I'm gonna do the gem count video tomorrow. It's 5 a.m. and I haven't slept yet. Just doing this video for you guys. But thank you to all the gifters of my channel. If you wanna get gifted, you know, I have 5 gift memberships to give away starting January. Be active. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Share the video. Comment down below. I respond with a thumbs up and a heart. If I haven't responded, patient. If I haven't responded for like weeks and weeks, probably I'll not be able to respond already, but just remember, I'm reading your comments and I really appreciate those comments. So thank you guys so much. But with that said, that is the end of this video. I hope you appreciated it. 55 minutes of talking. And with that, this is Sol, also known as Spiel Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt. You are this Team Skull Grunt. I'll try to stay awake and make the gem count video / Datamine in a nutshell events video, but cannot promise because it's getting early in the morning, 6 a.m. very soon. With that, see you in the next one. Rawr.